Okay, here we go with Flower Tower. I've done videos like this before, and I really don't know how I'm going to position this because I think I only want a portion of her video to comment on, basically. No hard feelings, by the way. It's just a
It is important to acknowledge the fact that although we may have the same skin color, we are not the same people.
Hey, by the way, I'm still subscribed to her. Just letting everyone know.
Nigger is a slur that has been used against black Americans. Only us, not the rest of y'all, right? But black Americans have this thing where we turn lemons into lemonade, right? So we took that slur and we reclaimed it. Now amongst each other, we use it as almost a term of endearment. You know, it doesn't have like, an offensive tone when we use it amongst each other, right?
No, that's not true, sweetie. If we wanted to turn the N word into actually something that is a lemons to lemonade situation, what we would do is we would specifically try to make it a situation where we associate the N word with like a doctor, a lawyer, someone who's very successful in life and not successful at degrading the black race and black people as a whole to make money off of us as a scapegoat. So, no, the N word has not been turned into something more positive. It just hasn't. It has still been a slur, basically. It's just a slur that black people use against each other. But it's not specifically anything that is a positive term. You mean it's positive just because black people are using it to reference lower class black people? I mean, we don't see very successful people using the N word in reference to themselves or, others. They only reference it to people, usually, particularly people from the ghetto and things of that nature. And that's not a good place to be in. And honestly, I don't think it's even particularly a black thing. I think it's regardless of race. But get into it.
But because of the fact that we make the most powerful music in the whole wide world or not or whatever, our music has been very globalized. It's very worldwide. Now there are people all over the world listening to our
Black people don't. Oh, what kind of music are you talking about? Are you talking about like rap and hip hop? I don't see that as black people's music. Anyone can make rap music. You guys want the lowest and the worst things to be associated with black people. Why? I mean, rap music does not portray black people in a good way. It portrays us as the lowest of the low, and the lowest achieving, the lowest intellectually, the lowest people. It creates the idea that white supremacists always wanted to see us as lower than human. That's what it makes us out to be. Why would we tout this as a good thing? Only people who aren't aware of black people actually being intellectually superior, not superior to other races, but I mean superior to basically the people they're putting forth as, like hip hop and a lower class of people and things of that nature. Only those people who are not aware that black people are capable of doing better. And that's so terrible because if you're a black person and you're not aware that you can do better, how can you prove that you can do better? You don't even know that you can do better. Just saying. Continue.
music, but they have no idea what nigga/nigger actually means, right? And that becomes an issue when the person has black skin. Because even though that person has no idea what the N word means, somehow they are considered to be an authority on the N word and who can use it just because they also have black skin. and that is an issue, right? Now, this is my thing. Personally, I'm only speaking for myself. I don't even like when Africans from Africa or Caribbeans from the Caribbean use the N word because of this right here. Very rarely do they understand the history behind it and respect anything about it, right? Whenever you hear a non-black person talk about, well, my black friends lets me use the N-word, they're always talking about an African or a Caribbean who doesn't know anything about the N-word, but for some reason, again, they are considered to be some sort of authority on it just because they are also black, right? Even though they don't know anything.
I think, anyway, this whole nonsense about saying white people can't use the N word is stupid as hell. Okay? I always share this story. When I was at work, I remember when I was younger, I used to work at this lower menial job when I was like 18, 19, 20 age range. And they specifically had a guy who was of like, what is it? Like what they call male descent, like males. If you know what males are people who are native to more of the West Virginia region, and they are a combination of black, white, and Native American. Anyway, at my job, basically, like fast food jobs, they generally have like, if they have like black people who work there and of a certain type of caliber, many of them will use the N word regularly. And we had black people who use the N word regularly. And the thing was, we also had this guy, and like I said, he was a male, which is basically a person from the West Virginia region who is a person of color. And he would use the N word regularly. Now, mind you, this is a guy who was blonde, blue eyed, and fair skinned. It bothered people that he used it even though he was a black man, and they allowed him to use it because of the fact that his ancestry was from that area. When they realized how uncomfortable it made black people feel, black people started to understand nobody should be using this word in the workplace. And so, it started to be enforced that black people shouldn't use the N word as well, because let's be honest, I mean, like, not all black people even look black. You understand when someone looks white that it's not a good idea for them to use the N word because now you feel it's racist. But then it's the same person and the person looks black, then it's an issue. It kind of lets you know that it's not about the fact that it's more of an endearing term, because if it was, then that black guy who used it in the same way that every other black person used it there would not have been an offense, because it would have been like, oh, he was a black American man who's using it the same way as every other black American man is. But it wasn't like that because he looked white. They understood that it's not a good idea for black people to use it. I think what the reality of the situation is, the reason some black people are not offended by black people using the N word is because they're like, well, you're an N word too. Because in reality, a lot of black people see themselves as slaves and as the N word. And they see themselves as derogatory terms, basically. They see themselves as inferior. And so if another person calls you inferior that is inferior, how offensive can it be? That's what's going on there. The N-word has not changed. It has not. It's just that you guys view yourself that way in a lowly position, and you're okay with other people who you see as in a lowly position calling you that because you feel like, well, we both are, so what? Which is so fucked up, because you shouldn't be seeing yourself as a lesser person just because you're black. I'm going to end this video. Thanks for watching, everyone. Like and subscribe, comment down below, and have a great day. Bye.